Hi everyone and welcome to my little craft corner. I am Tabby and today we will continue with our folio that we created a few days before. In case you haven't seen my tutorial from, I think it was Friday, I will link it down in the description box, and I think I will also link it somewhere on the top here. Yeah, today we will decorate the folio itself. Of course, this Stamperia paper is already beautiful, but I think a few labels here and there. I want to do some stamping and yeah, a few bits and bobs we need to add to give it a little bit more personality, I think. And I have 7 smaller projects in mind that will go into this folio. As always, I already did the German version, and I just want to show you quickly what we will do today. So we will do an over the page tag like this. The project, I think, might not turn out completely the same as I did it in the German video, but just to give you a little bit of a hint what we will do today. Then I called it a Matryoshka tag, like these Russian dolls where you always have a smaller doll inside. And the same thing we did just with a tag. So as you can see, the tags get smaller and smaller and got into these pockets that I attached to the tags. Then I created a journal card and a specimen card. These 3 smaller or tiny tags with a little bit of book page and gold, a notepad, and a little notebook. Yeah, as you might have noticed, everything I created is from a brown paper, like a little bit of a craft paper. It is not really heavy, it is more on the flimsy side. I'm not sure if it is 80 GSM. But yeah, that I wanted to use it because I think it goes well with this nature forest theme of Stamperia. Yeah, I think we can jump right in with the decoration of the folio itself. First thing we have to do is to create our closure, or to, let's say, is to finish our closure, because as you can see, we already did these flaps in this file folder shape that are part of our closure, and I will take these paper clips to attach them over here, and then we need a piece of string or thread to attach those clips in these eyelets. I already prepared this. All you do is you punch a hole in your tab of the file folder and then use an eyelet. If you don't have any eyelets or don't want to use any eyelets, take some hole reinforcers, but I would recommend to take something that would kind of strengthen your paper, because you have a little bit of tension on these tabs by opening and closing the folio itself by getting these paper clips in and out. I decided just to stay in this nature forest theme to take this brown cord. In German it is called Sisal. I forgot how it is called in English. But since this is too thick for me to use it in my folio, I will just split it, because it is thinner obviously, but it will be still strong enough even if it is split in half. So everything I do is to lay it like this, so you have a little bow over here. Go through my eyelet. I do it on the top, but it doesn't depend where you will start. And do the same thing with this one. So I just take it and pull, yeah, let's say my legs through and pull it tight. Then I take my paper clip, attach it over here, and then, oh no, I think I will go from the top to the bottom, and then just making a knot. Yeah, then I just prove has it enough tension, because of course it shouldn't be too loose, but it also shouldn't have too much tension though. So you could attach your paper clip. And we are done with our closure. As I already told you in the last video, you can also take like normal paper clips or bulldog clips or everything you can clip on, basically. Just keep in mind, if you want to have it in a junk journal, it shouldn't be anything too bulky. But besides that, you're completely free how you want to do it. And now we will, as I said, oh, it is upside down. As I said, continue with the decoration. Okay, I already prepared a few things that I want to decorate here, so it wouldn't take a lot of time, because we still have our 7 projects. And I just chose a washi sticker for this space over here, and a piece of a book page. It was just a little scrap from attaching those hinges. And in case you already saw a few videos of mine, you might know by now I always ink my edges. In this case I took walnut stain. Okay, let's continue. Okay, first let's continue by cutting this piece off. Goodbye. I always attach my paper clips like this so they don't, they are not in my way. Oh, I didn't ink this one. I just like to do it so I won't have these white edges. Okay, I think you don't have to see me struggle with getting off my washi stickers from these plastic sheets. We are done with this one, I think, yeah. But since we have a lot of, if I would take it off like that, you see we will have a lot of, open space. So I want to do a little bit of stamping over here. Today I want to use for stamping VersaFine Clair, like Fallen Leaves and Twilight. You can use, of course, whatever will fit your style and the papers you use. Let's see. And I already chose... Oh my god, that was a little bit... a little bit too much color. Okay. Oh yeah, that fits nicely. And then yeah, I think I might stick to the blue with this one. Oh yes, okay. And I love these 3 little stars. But where? Oh, here might be a nice spot for it. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I will leave it like that for the first page. This space was just a little bit too blank for me, so I had to add a stamp, of course. This one, I think it is already beautiful as it is, but I want to do a few things on this envelope, and I want to stamp a little bit on this frame. First thing we will do with this envelope is getting some color on it, and I will take Distress Spray Stain Iced Spruce, but of course I don't want to spray it on my project because that will land everywhere, I think. That's why I prepared a little bit of acetate. Okay, that's more than enough. And maybe I want to mix in a little bit of broken china. Let's see. And I hope it will end a little bit like that. So like the color from the Stamperia set. And I just take some oh yeah, that's nice. I just take some cheesecloth. Oh my God. Yeah, I have to finish my sentences. I am so sorry. I just take a little bit of this cheesecloth, because first of all, so I can dye it by using it. And I just want to have something to bring the paint on here. Oh, that's beautiful. So I want to do a little bit on the inside. Gorgeous. Okay, I think I just wanted to get off this paint from this acetate, so we won't waste anything of that. Now for stamping. Oh, first I can attach this one. That is obviously a little bit too tall, but I don't care. I just take my pencil, mark where I want to cut it. I think I want to have this here a little bit in the middle, so I might cut it over here and over here. This is a label, I think, from one of Tracy Fox's kits. Now I have to erase my pencil marks, of course, and just ink a tiny bit all around. Yeah, as I said, this is a label from Tracy Fox Kids, who is like Love Junk Journals on Etsy. And as far as I remember, I will link every kit that I'm using down below in case you want to use the same materials as I do. But of course, use up whatever you have. I used these labels in so many projects already, so just use whatever might be in your stash. And I want to add this postage stamp, and it would be so nice to have a glue page, wouldn't it? Here we go. That was a ton of glue. Okay, why not? So just decorating this envelope a little bit more. Okay, this warps a little bit because of the moisture in these spray stains, but I think that will work out later. Let's see. This could use maybe a stamp too. Yeah, look at this. Perfect space for that. More gentle, please. Oh, and maybe not upside down. That would be perfect. Beautiful. So I already decided I also want to have a little label over here. A label stamp. but I didn't want to align it completely with this one because I think that would look a little bit weird. And as I said, I also want to stamp on this frame, and I will take Twilight again. Gentle, gentle. Where do I want to do it? Here. Why not having the same one again? Let's say this is a really important number, so you have to see it from both sides, I think. Maybe a tiny one? No, I think that's enough. I will continue, or maybe I will take you with me. I will continue on this page with this double tuck spot and this tall pocket with a beautiful postage stamps from the Netherlands. I don't know, I think that might be a little bit too much. Yeah, so I will leave it like that. I am back on page number 1 because I forgot a label that I already chose. How could that happen? This is a kit, or one of the kits by the Junk Journal Studio on Etsy. She has a lot of adorable label kits, and the pricing is completely fine. And you get a lot of it. So let's turn to the back. For this one, you already know, or still know, this is our door element. And I chose this flower. Goodbye. Of course, I'm struggling again. So of course I wanted to stay with within the theme of nature. Oh yeah, as you may have seen, for the closure I decided today for eyelets and will put a piece of string through. So let's continue with our stamping inside here. I decided I am not done yet. But where? Maybe here. We will have it right here. Yeah, that's okay. Another time this again. like an ogre. Gentle. Yeah, it is up. It is the right side up. Okay, I think we are done with this part over here. So let's continue with our window pocket. Okay, yes, we already stamped on here, but I also wanted to put this beautiful butterfly on here. And for this I might take my art glitter glue, because I think the glue stick might take forever to dry. And on acetate, I don't know. I don't trust it. Oh no, glue is seeping through. Oh no. No. Okay. Because you can get it off as long it is not dry. It is not in the center. No. Oh, thank God it's on acetate. Otherwise, I think I wouldn't have any chance to move it with my art glitter glue. Okay. Of course, you can leave the window completely free of everything, but I love this beautiful butterfly over here. And now that we decorated our folio, we will continue with these 7 mini projects. So I will be right back. So let's start with this tag you can fold over or have over a page like this, for example. The whole sheet of paper is 8 inches tall and 2.5 inches wide, and what you have to do is simply fold it in half in the length. So your tag will be 4 inches tall. So first I want to decorate it a little bit, and for that I think I might first just, oops, sorry, that was my ink dauber. I just want to have a little bit of walnut stain on here. And then I want to use this stencil, and let's be brave and use some broken china. And maybe some fossil amber. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I think that might look good, but I first want to let it dry a little bit before I lift this stencil. But to help it a little bit to dry and not to waste all of this beautiful color, I will take a piece of a book page. And just take off this color a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, as you can see, it was just too wet and got completely underneath, but I still love the effect. Let's just take another piece of paper and just get it off completely. Maybe just move the paint around a little bit. Oh yeah, there's a lot of paint underneath the stencil. Okay, as I said, I want to let it dry and then I will be back. And for this one, I also want to use my acrylic paint, but now I want to apply it with a brush. I want to make sure that I don't have a lot of paint on here. To get these kind of brush marks. Sorry. Yeah, I like it. What I don't like so much is this one over here. That was a little bit too much paint. Yeah, I think we'll leave it before. I think, yeah, I don't want to do any more brushing. Otherwise I might get more of these blobs where I have a lot of paint. Okay, so since this will be... It is nothing like I intended it with the background, but I kind of like it. That is, it doesn't have this pattern so super clear from the stencil. Yeah, I like that. I think, or maybe I leave it open. I want to use a stamp, but maybe a taller one or bigger one. Let's see. Yes, I want to use these ones. These are by Tim Holtz, Stampers Anonymous, paint by number. And let's use the 4. Go away, please. And maybe the 5. And I don't want to use Twilight because I think these colors don't match so well. And I first thought if I want to use Black Soot by Distress Ink, but I want to stick with my Fallen Leaf. Leaves. It's not only one fallen leaf. Okay. No, let's have this on here. And the 5. But I don't want to have it on the left. Oh yes, I like it. And I kind of used the same things that I used on, or the same supplies, let's say like that I used in the German video, like the acrylic paint and some spray stain and these stamps. But it turned out completely different. And that's what I prefer to do. I don't like to have everything the same. Maybe I don't stamp on my table with this water-resistant color or ink. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Okay. Oops. No. But I think I also need my splatter stamp. Okay, sorry guys, I already did this side without turning the camera on again. Let's continue. See? And I think now... Okay, it is enough. It is enough. It is fine with this huge part with or with a lot of color over here. I think it's okay. What I have to do now, bring it in a tag shape, of course, and round my corners underneath and ink around it. And we'll be back with the finished project and a little bit more space over here. I am back from inking and trimming and rounding the corners, and that is our result. Oh, by the way, I always use Distress Ink Ground Espresso to ink the edges of these projects for today. And as you can see, because this is more like a thinner paper, these distress stains kind of bleeded through. So it bleeded through over here. And then I just took a little bit of paint again and just dipped in this tag again. Did a little bit with ground espresso as well. And yeah, so I just took it for an advantage, what was like a failure. Okay, as long as our project dries over here, we will continue with another one, like these tiny tags attached with a brad, like these ones. And I think I want to create them in a similar way, because I like the idea with the book page and the gold, so I will stick to that. I will take off these edges, have it over here, this one over here, and that one again here. Yeah, that might be nice. And then having this gold on it. But before I will attach the gold, I might use some paint. So guys, I have a few things in mind, like which projects I want to do, but I just not want to just recreate the things that I did in the German video. I want to do a few things differently. So yeah, I just have to think a little bit what I want to do and what I like to do and what comes in my mind. And I think for these ones, I like to play with some acrylic paint. So I already got some white acrylic paint and my brayer. Let's take this to protect my desk. Oh no, that wasn't the idea, to cover it completely. Let's see if I can take a little bit off. No, I can't. Yeah, that was a little bit too much paint. And I will cover them on both sides with some paint. So I want to first decorate them. Oh, and again, too much paint. And then get it into a tag shape. Not too much. I think I might play around today a little bit more with my acrylic paint. Okay. Okay, get off. Yeah, they need to dry too. What I try to do, no, it doesn't work. I try to lift up a little bit of paint. Sometimes that works if it is just a little bit dry, but no, that doesn't work. I think they are dry enough so I can continue by stenciling a little bit. I will take walnut stain again for this, just to get these splatters on here. Maybe, oops, like this. And I also want to bring on this one, but yeah, I think that's too much. That is too much. So I have to find my book page snippets and my glue. Yeah, I think that would have been too much with the other stencil. Okay, attach this one. But maybe I want to do a little bit of stamping. I think that might be nice. Yes, I decided to do these tiny butterflies, but I will take or won't take my stamp pad, so I get a little bit of an imperfect impression, so to say. This taller one. Yeah, that's nice. I want to put it over here. Oops. Okay. And this one will be here, maybe? Yeah. Okay. Let's get it down. Okay. So we have our butterflies on now, and now we're getting to the part with our gold. I have to be a little bit careful because this is really light and flimsy, so don't sneeze if you work with it. So I also used glue stick in the German video for it, and that worked, but I think I might cover it. I might cover it with some gesso, but first I want to see how it, just how it works. So of course it wouldn't stick without any glue. That's a learning, huh? Yeah, just a tiny little bit. Okay, it's gone. Oh, here it is. And I like, see what I mean? It is super fragile and super light. It is like super delicate. So maybe I want to have a little bit more over here. So the great thing is that you can, at least if you use some glue stick, you can move it around. So you will. So I don't like to have these bigger flakes. I only want to have these more like distressed. This distressed look. A little bit over here. Yeah, I think I will continue and then show you the end result. Okay guys, I am back. As you can see, I attached gold everywhere and I brought my little tags into a tag shape. I used this punch for that. Yeah, similar to this corner rounder, but just with a tag shape. It is by Craftelier, so I can link it down in the description box. That is an online shop, but they also have their own brand where they create a lot of craft supplies. And yeah, I rounded my corners down here and I already attached this tiny little bread. Since it is not dry, or not completely dry. I just want to leave it open like this. So let's continue with these Matryoshka tags that I already showed you. Okay guys, I am back from inking, cause then you can see this effect a little bit better, cause the paper doesn't blend in so much. So yeah, as you can see, every tag gets a little bit smaller. And here you have the measurements. Yeah, so first we have the width of a tag, on the second it is the length of a tag. Of course you can come up with your own measurements. I want to create it for my window pocket in this folio. You just have to make sure that it will fit in these pockets, right? But besides that, if you won't do it for your folio, you can do your Matryoshka tag as tall as you want to. Just keep in mind that your tags will be small enough so that they can slide in perfectly in the pockets, because we will attach some pockets and then we'll slide in these the tags in one another. What I want to do now is stencil it a little bit on them, and I want to have it at an angle, and then I will take, let's do some vintage photo, why not? Just having my coffee splatters on here. Yeah, and I bagged these tags because I think it is important to have a little bit of a structure. Since this paper is originally really flimsy, yeah, I think it wouldn't just work to get these tags in and out into the pockets, because it will roll around, and yeah, that's why I thought that might be a good idea. Maybe you have some paper that is already sturdy, then you don't have to bag it, maybe like a 220 GSM paper or something like that. I think that should work. And of course I hope you enjoy this little bit of an, I wouldn't say it is a tutorial, it is more like an inspiration. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it and like what you see. Yeah, maybe tell me in the comments if you have other ideas, or maybe you already did some decorations for your folio or whatever. Yeah, then I would be happy to, maybe if you want to share it and to see what you've done, and to tell me and other people who might see your comments about your ideas. So now we have this stencil done. I had another one. Let's I need a second. This one I like a lot, and this was, I think, yeah, like a collection of 3 of them, but I cannot remember which ones were in there. Just wanted to have a look. You can see the splattering in the background the tiniest bit, but that's fine. But I think I want to try, sorry guys, I want to try brushed corduroy just to see if it is a little bit more intense. That's off. I won't get it back. But let's do it like that. I will do this one with frayed burlap. And this is, by the way, not the ink anymore, cause I bought, can this off? I bought a re-inker. But accidentally I didn't buy the ink, but the oxide. So now I have oxide in here. As you can see, this is lighter than the ink pad would be. So it is now like a mixture of oxide and ink. So for these ones I want to take brushed corduroy. Maybe have a little bit more ink. Okay, that's also not really intense. Try to activate it a little bit more with water. Hope that gives me a little bit more ink. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, I think in the video it is more intense than in real life. Interesting. What I want to do next is use my script stamp. I had a little bit of gold on here, and that is one point that I have to... I think I will take some black, so we have something that has a little bit more of a contrast. Yeah, you might have this gold everywhere, because it is super flimsy, super delicate and light. Again, I don't know what is the right side up. Yeah, but that's correct. Okay. Yeah, I have it on my stamps, on my ink pads. Like everywhere. Okay. So I like to have also these more like imperfect stamping results. And later on I will trim the edges for this typical tag shape. But right now I don't want to do it. Yeah, because when I trim it earlier on, it kind of keeps me from decorating the top, and I always stay away from these corners somehow. Okay, I will continue with this script stamp and then I will be back. Okay guys, I am done with my stenciling and stamping, and I also used this splatter stamp to have a few little splatters on here too, and for that I used again VersaFine Clear Fallen Leaves. Now here I thought it might be nice to use this punch for the top, but I think then I want to have the tag shapes first. Okay, I punched these tag shapes. Of course you can use your scissors and do it like that. Oh, I forgot to ink. So let's see. Put it in like that. Oh my gosh, these punches are sometimes so heavy. Okay, I don't know what it was with this tag, but yeah, it kind of destroyed this paper completely. Oh my gosh. I have some issues over here. Okay, this is besides the tiniest one, the last one, so okay guys, I am done, but I like the effect. I like the result a lot. So let's clean up this mess and then I will be back after I of course re-ink the edges over here. Okay, I just took some scraps from my from crafting my folio. Oh, I think I might use this one. And I just want to make my pockets out of these scraps. So what I will basically do is trim these strips that they will fit in height and width for my tags, and then attach them to my tags. First, I might be clever to mark it where to trim. So let's do it in the right order. This one there. So I want to alter it and don't have the same paper. I cannot see my marking anymore. To not use the same paper for every tag. And then I might use it. Or I might use this little strip. Yeah. One here. Oh no, this the last tag of course doesn't need a pocket because it is basically the smallest doll in this Matryoshka thing, so the smallest tag. And of course this one doesn't need to have a pocket because nothing goes in there. Decisions here. Okay. Yeah, let's use this one. Trim it. This one. And I want to use, yeah, this is a little bit taller. This one over here. And since I liked it for the other ones, I want to take these scissors and just have this beautiful like torn edge. And I will ink around these like pockets again. We'll trim this just a little bit more. Otherwise it would be a tiny bit too tall for my liking. Okay guys, just I will show you one. I think you might get the idea. Let's show you the biggest one. Just inking real quick. I take my glue. Put it down on my tag, and then I will take the next one and we'll continue like that. So I will attach all these pockets on each tag besides the last one, as I told you before, and then I will be back. Okay, I am back again. Oh, and I can see that I forgot to ink these edges over here. But yeah, that's basically our Matryoshka or Matryoshka tag. You can have them a little bit at an angle or completely straight, but I just love that idea. I also did it in one of my journals. I think it was the first flip through that I showed you on my channel. So if you're interested to see that, I will link it down in the description box as well. But I had a tag or a Matryoshka tag in there where I did it like the pockets with fabrics, and I did the fabrics on the back. So the pockets on the back, so you always had to turn it to see the Matryoshka, that might be also a really nice effect, because first you wouldn't see that it is a Matryoshka tag. You would only think it is a normal tag. But in that case, I wanted to use it, or left the backs blank, because I wanted to use it as a writing space. And as you can see, I got a little bit of ink and stuff on the back as well, but that's okay with me, because I think I will create a few things on them anyways and not only writing, so that doesn't matter for me. So yeah, that is project number 3, I think. Okay, unfortunately my camera wasn't recording when I wanted to introduce you to this project, but what I wanted to do is to create this notepad that is 7 inches tall and 2.5 inches wide. And so these are the measurements for this base here. And what I did is taking a sheet of A4 paper, but you can also use letter size, that has to have the width of 2.5 inches as well, and then you just fold it over. You can still see it over here. You just fold it wherever you want to do. So, and then you will have the case, or you just fold it over so you have a little bit of the 7 inches of the base that you will fold over your notepad itself. And just, it depends only on your preference. If you want to have it longer, make it longer. I wouldn't make it a lot shorter, otherwise it wouldn't fold over really well. And we want to attach it with a piece of string, so that's why I wanted to punch a few holes. And at this point I recognized that my camera was off. But yeah, we'll keep punching these 2 holes. And then we take our piece of string. Okay, that is not the same space, but doesn't matter. I will take again my and split it in half. Okay, here we go. And then I just take my piece of string and pull it through from the back through one of the holes and the other end through the other hole. Even it out, and I just make a simple double knot. Okay, that's it. I just have to shorten it. Fine. And I thought about attaching this piece of fabric. Yeah, and I think I will do that. But I would only attach it to this flap over here and not to the sheet of paper. Okay, then let's trim it. That was a bit crooked, and then let's fray it a little bit again. Okay, and that's it for the notepad. Super easy, right? Okay, let's move on to project number 5. I call it a tag with writing space because I envisioned something different before, but it is basically like a little notebook. And this one is 7 inches tall and 5 inches wide, so in total this piece of paper is 5 inches wide. and then you fold it in half. So your booklet has your notebook has a width of 2.5 inches. I took 3 sheets of paper. Oh no, that's a lie. I took 4 sheets of paper because I don't want it to have it super thick since it go into the folio. What I already did was rounding the corners, and I cut the sheets of paper inside a little bit shorter than the cover itself. So what I have to do now, what I want to do is putting a little bit of color on it. By the way, I use Reeves. I don't know how to pronounce this brand. Yeah, in case you're wondering, but it is basically in acrylic paint. You can use whatever you want to. Before I might stencil a little bit. Let's take a vintage photo again. And this time I use vintage photo. Just making sure that I don't get it in the paint. Okay, that's done. And now I take my brayer and go over it. And can you see how it kind of, the paint goes in these spaces between this brick stencil? I think that's a nice effect. Don't want to have too much paint on here, and also want to do it from the inside, but on the inside I will only have paint and no stenciling. So of course you don't have to be exact here in any way. Just enjoy playing with paint. There's no right or wrong, or no point where you have to stop. Just do whatever you like. So I think that's the point for me where I want to stop, where I really like it. Maybe I want to have a little bit more down here. Yeah. Okay, so I think I have will let it dry for a few moments, and then I will be back. So I had in mind to stamp this tree on here, little bit like this, I think. Unfortunately, so I will take Fine Clair, but I don't have a stamp pad or like an acrylic block that is tall enough for it. So I try to get an even result by taking it in my hands. I think I have to get a little bit more ink on here, but it is okay if it is not a perfect result. I'm fine with that. Okay. At least I didn't drop it. And of course, I'm afraid that it will move and while I am still pressing it on. Okay, let's see. Oh, that turned out well. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Perfect. Better than I thought, to be honest. See, and now I will have one part of the tree over here and one part of the tree over here. Oh, I'm happy that it turned out so well. I used this stamp once, just pressing it down with my hand, and yeah, let's say it wasn't as successful as now. Okay, what I will do now is ink around the edges, let it completely dry, because it is still not completely done, and then I will bind in this, or will bind it to a booklet with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I think I don't have to show it to you because, I don't know, we all know this stitch, right? In case you don't, I've got a tutorial for you that I already did where I showed you the 5 and the 7-hole pamphlet stitch, and that is basically the same but just with less stitches. So in case you don't know how to bind in a signature, I will link this tutorial below. And I will be right back if it is dry and bind in. Okay, while it dries completely, I just want to stamp a little bit more. I already started with my splatter stamp, but I just want to do a little bit more things, and I thought, why not taking you with me? Okay, that's the right way up. Oh my gosh, my hands are full of this ink now. Don't know what I'm doing today. No, that would be... Okay, I think that's enough. And I think I want to have a number as well. Why not? That is crooked. That's better. Okay. Maybe have another one on top. Yeah. And one underneath here. Yeah, that's enough. Enough is enough. Okay, I think now I can go on by binding this in. Okay, I am done with my little booklet or notebook. Yeah, here I got a little bit of paint in it and just wanted to get it off with some water. Yeah, so that has just to dry a little bit. Okay, we are moving on to project number 6. Okay, next I want to create a journal card. I called it first an embossed tag because that was the idea that I had initially. But then I just wanted to turn it into a normal or simple journal card. And this one is... Oh, this of course it is wrong. It is 4 inches tall and 2.5 inches wide. And what I want to do is play with my paint again. And I want to use a mixture of iced spruce and broken china and maybe fossiled amber. I couldn't find my broken china, but it is here. So I will spray on my acetate again. Just mix it a little bit like that. I don't want to have so much on one spot. And then I take my card and just dip it in. Oops. Yeah, and get a nice effect like that. Oh yeah, that's okay. It is interesting how these colors appear on this brown paper. And since so I now go around it in a kind of a border. And I like it because I think it fits the Stamperia paper really well. That is also not super bright. So yeah, that's a nice effect. Okay, again I have to let this dry and then I will be back. So while it is drying, I already inked all around it, and you can see that the distress ink already reacted with the water in it, and that gives a nice effect where the ink just runs into the paper, and you can see the difference on the back where it's not so wet. And I will back this journaling card cause the other one that I did in the German video turned out a little bit too flimsy for me, so I will back this sheet of paper real quick. Guys, I don't know what it is today with this camera. Yeah, I don't know. I turned it on and then it just kind of turns off and that's it. I don't know why. So I already did this journaling card. As I said, I backed it, and then I had this cute mouse stamp with her flower that I wanted to use the longest time. So I thought in this Stamperia Forest kit she's in the right place. And then I took my script stamp and my splatter stamp just to give it a little bit of interest, I think. And so my journaling card is done. I'm sorry that you couldn't follow the process, but yeah, when it is done, it is done. So I hope for the last project that won't happen again. So last but not least, we have this specimen card. And for this, I cut a piece of paper to size that is 6 inches wide and 3.5 inches tall. And what we basically doing first is we just fold it in half width-wise. I just take my bone folder to get a nice crease. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And then I round the corners. I quickly ink all around it. And then I will do a window at the front and leave the back as it is. Of course, you can cut a window. Always look at the camera if it's still recording. Cut a window with a ruler and a knife. I will use a die cut today. And then all we need to do is decorate it with some stamps and maybe a little bit of stenciling. And I will have, of course, my little whatever. I think I want to use this moth to pretend that I collected it and put it in this specimen card. And I will take a piece of scrap paper from what I have left over from the kit when I did the folio, and we'll have it here on the back, then the moth on it, and yeah, you can see it through the window. And of course we will need a piece of acetate in the window. Okay, I will quickly get my window out with my die cut. I think I would, I don't know, 1/2 inch wide the frame, 1/2 inch till 3/4 of an inch, something like that. So in case you're wondering, I used this die cut set from Craftelier with a lot of squares, and they also have another one with a lot of circles. And I used size number 3 for it. So yeah, maybe you have this set and were wondering. And of course, keep in mind, if you want to do it with a die cut as I did, you have to reopen your specimen card before you run the die cut through the machine, of course. Otherwise you would cut both sides. Okay, now I already cut a piece of acetate to size. You can use these packaging papers. You can also use these overhead projector sheets. So basically everything that is a little bit sturdy, wouldn't rip, and is see-through. And I found this piece of a scrap, and isn't that perfect for our little project? So at least I think. No. It is not the glue's fault, because I always leave it open for too long. Not always, but now during this project. And that's not a good idea. So put it in here. It is only important that it is not smaller than your window and not taller than your whole card, basically. And then I will put on the acetate. And there it is important to stick close to the edge and don't apply too much glue, because otherwise it would smudge completely on the acetate, and that's not pretty. Okay. And for your piece of acetate, it is the same. It shouldn't be taller than your project itself and not smaller than your window. You can always. So as long as it is isn't dried, you can get off anything from your glue. Okay, so that's it. But before we close it, of course, we want to have our little moth in here. But I will apply her with my glue stick. Just be sure that you take, like a good glue stick. I always love to use Uhu. So none of these super cheap ones. Of course, I might need a little bit of wriggle room to have it in the center. See, it is completely off center. Still not. Yeah, I think. Here we go. Okay, so that's our specimen. I want to search for a few labels, and then I will stamp a little bit around and maybe stencil a little bit around. I'll be right back. Okay, I found my labels that I want to bring on. This one is a little bit too bright white for me, so I just take my ink dauber. Don't get new ink on it, just take whatever is left in here and daub it just gently on here. So no rubbing or no pressing, just gently. If you want to get, for example, some marks like it is touched a few times or many times and you get these marks, that's fine. And I put a little bit of a book page on here. Let's pretend that's the information about this moth that we might find somewhere, to put it on here. And I will put this label in here. Look good, maybe a little bit, maybe more like this. And I will put this label on here and quickly ink all around it, so we won't have bright white edges from cutting. Okay, then we have our label, and all we have to do now, oh no, I forgot one of the most important points, but I think we can still do it. I want to get these like holes in here. I will be back with a cutter and a knife in a second. I somehow thought something isn't right. Maybe I cut on my cutting board and not on this catalog. Okay. Just line it up that it is straight. Doing the same at the bottom. Oops. Okay, and the rest I will cut with my scissors. Okay, that's a little bit wonky, but yeah. No, I can't live with it. I can't. I don't know what this. The blade isn't in here completely and gets loose somehow. Let's see. So everybody who's thinking that he or she's the only person who might struggle while crafting, you are not alone. It is okay. Okay, I will get. See, it is just not attached. What is going on? I will get my labels and stencils and then I will be back. Okay, I want to use this stencil again. Let's take fallen leaves. And let's say maybe somebody was eating and drinking while looking on this card and splashing a lot of coffee on it. I like it. And sometimes when my stencils appear a little bit too intense, let's say it like that, I just go over it with some ink on the rest of the project, and so it blends in a little bit more. Of course, it darkens your whole project then, but I like it this way a little bit more. Okay, so I will make it a little bit darker on the back too. So we are done with our stenciling, and now we will stamp again, and of course our splatter stamp has to be on. Yeah, question mark? Oh my gosh, I think in my mind it was like I press it down on this acrylic block and forget it. And maybe I don't take always fallen leaves. Maybe I take again twilight, since we have no broken china on here or whatever. Okay. We have it again here, but not completely. Yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, the stars. Let's do the stars. Only one star here. One star here. Oh wow, nice. Got the same result on both sides. We need a little something here. I want to do this one, but I don't want to do the... So I only want to do the number, but not where the number is written, if you know what I mean. Nice. Okay. And then now, splatter stamping? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm still recording. Yay for that. Oh, see, that's nice. At least I am completely happy. I hope you also think that it's nice. Okay, enough splatter stamping. I think I'm done. Yes. Okay, guys, I will clean... Oh no, first. So now we have to close our specimen. That's not important. I just took a piece of a double-sided piece of acetate. And now we just glue 3 sides shut and have our moth in here. Is a beautiful example for what we ever found in the forest. Okay guys, I will clean out this mess and then I will be back to show you in a quick flip through our 7 projects in the folio. And I will be back in a minute. Okay, I am back from cleaning my desk and putting the folio together. As you can see, it is quite bulky, so we have a lot of things in here. All our projects we did today. So let's start at the beginning. We did the closure, or finished the closure, better to say. Just put it like that. And we are beginning with a journaling card, or a tag from the Stamperia kit itself. A lot of stamping and labels, and over here we have these tiny tags that I created for this flip out tuck spot, and we still have our flip out large pocket where I didn't put anything yet. And my journal space, or my notebook, I put in here in this huge tuck spot. And over here we have again a little bit of some tiny journaling space from the kit. Also this one. This is our foldable tag, or over the page tag we created. Our specimen card with our beautiful moth we collected wherever, whenever. And another tag with some foxes from Stamperia itself. Oh yeah, our beautiful Matryoshka tag. This pocket and this envelope I didn't put anything, so yeah, maybe I might add things later on. And I already showed you the eyelets, and I just put a piece of string through to close the doors. And now we open it and find our notepad inside. And our journaling card. And as you may remember, our front should be with 2 pockets. In the tutorial I said you should have 2 pockets on here and this tuck spot, but I didn't want to cover this fish, so I was left with 1 pocket, and I just took it and put it on the back here behind the doors. So I used it, but I just used it in another space, and I think I said it the last time. You can of course take all of these elements that I showed you and just put it in another space of this folio. You don't have to do it on the same pages as I did. So yeah, that's our folio completely decorated, and I hope I could give you a lot of inspiration for the projects to go in this folio. Of course, a lot of people, I think, use it to send things to other people. You can get it full with, I don't know, postage stamps and stickers and whatnot to gift it to another person. I think I might take one of my folios that I created through this process for my vacation this year, because this year we might go to Vienna, and instead of using a journal, I think I might use my folio, take this with me, and fill it with my memories. And that's why I wanted to create a bit of a writing space with these tags, Notepad, so having a lot of journal spot, but also creating a little bit of collages or whatnot, saving tickets, and so on. So guys, I hope you had a good time to follow me and see me creating this, and I hope to see you soon. I hope you will have a lot of fun to recreate this folio. I can really recommend it, guys. Just do it. It is a fun project, I have to say. And if you enjoyed everything, I would be happy if you would subscribe to my channel. Maybe leave me a comment and tell me who you are, maybe how you found me. And we are still a pretty small community, and every subscription and like will help me a lot. Until then, guys, I wish you a crafty day. See you then. Bye!